You have seen on your screen there a live shot. We are standing by to hear from the Prime Minister. He's just at the podium now. Let's take you there live to Canberra.
Of the People's Republic of China, Li Qiang, will visit Australia as a guest of government from Saturday 15 June to Tuesday 18 June. This will be the first visit to Australia by a Chinese Premier since 2017 and represents another important step in stabilising our relationship with China. The Premier and I will hold the annual leaders meeting here at Parliament House in Canberra. It will be followed by a state lunch here in the Great Hall, attended by members of the government, the opposition, as well as business and community leaders. Premier Li will also travel to Adelaide prior to Canberra and then on to Perth. The Premier and I will engage with Australian and Chinese business leaders at the 7th Australia-China CEO Roundtable. This will make a valuable contribution to strengthening relationships between business leaders in China and Australia. As people know, China represents around about 25% of our export in terms of a destination. We'll also acknowledge, of course, the deep contribution of the more than 1 million members of the Chinese Australian community to our nation's multicultural success story. Premier Li's visit to Australia follows my visit to Beijing in November last year. Welcoming the Chinese Premier to Australia is an opportunity for us to advance our interests by demonstrating our national values, our people's qualities and our economy's strengths. Australia continues to pursue a stable and direct relationship with China, with dialogue at its core. Our approach has been patient, calibrated and deliberate. Cooperate where we can, disagree where we must, and engage in our national interest. And overwhelmingly, the impediments that were there to our trade have been removed in recent times, and we're seeing the benefit of that trade through our export of our coal, our wine, our barley, our other products, including most recently the decision when it came to meat here in Australia. Can I also make some comments before taking questions about Peter Dutton's rather extraordinary abandonment of any pretence of having a climate policy. His nuclear fantasy will result in higher power prices and more unstable energy grid and rising emissions. No 2030 target means walking out of the Paris Agreement. That is very clear. And if you walk out of the Paris Agreement, you're left standing with Libya, Yemen and Iran. That is not the company that Australia should want to keep. We know that the consequences of that for our relationships in our region and around the world with our closest allies will be ones that are regrettable, to say the least. Peter Dutton, after that announcement, within minutes, you had Senator Bragg out there saying something very different. And it's clear that there hasn't been any proper process to determine the coalition's policy on this issue. Peter Dutton is divisive, the coalition are divided, and there's no detail about what they would pursue. They're the 3 Ds of the coalition: divisive, divided, detail, which gives them a big F for fail when it comes to climate policy. So instead of chasing investment in new industries with new opportunities and new jobs, he's chasing them away. No action until 2040 means energy shortfalls. It means higher costs, and it's something that Australia should not pursue. The coalition had 22 different energy policies when they were in government and didn't land one of them. Now they have a number of policies over recent days, but it's very clear that they can't be taken seriously on an issue that is important to Australians today, but which is particularly important as an intergenerational equity issue as well. It's important in terms of our international relationships, and it's important in terms of our environment, but importantly as well, at a time where the entire globe is moving towards this economic transformation, it's an abandonment of the opportunities that are there for Australia to benefit from climate change action with new growth and new jobs and new industries. Peter Dutton is afraid of the future, and therefore he can't seize the opportunities which are there.